I knew something was wrong the moment my phone lit up at 2:14 a.m. A single notification. A photo. My boyfriend, shirtless, standing in the doorway of his apartment, his expression distant, confused. The message beneath it was worse. I miss you already. Tonight felt perfect. The sender's name wasn't his. It wasn't mine either. It was my roommate's. For a full second, my mind refused to interpret the image. My thumb hovered, cold and mechanical, as if my body had detached from itself to avoid feeling anything at all. Then the truth, or some early, blurry outline of it, slid under my skin like a blade. I didn't breathe, didn't blink, didn't let emotion bleed through. I just sat there in the dark, the blue glow washing over my hands, and listened to the quiet hum of my own pulse. Something had happened, something intentional, something designed to hurt, and whoever sent that message thought I wouldn't notice, wouldn't question, wouldn't fight. They misunderstood me completely. It began weeks earlier, now that I replay it. Little shifts, small fractures, moments that I dismissed because people like me are trained to give second chances, to rationalize the unbearable. My roommate borrowing my makeup without asking, my clothes disappearing for days, reappearing in the laundry basket with strange perfume clinging to them. Her phone lighting up every time my boyfriend texted me, as if she knew before I did. I'd catch her watching me sometimes, still, focused, too interested in the way I smiled at my screen. I told myself it was harmless, that she was lonely, clingy, insecure. But insecurity doesn't explain why she used my toothbrush one morning and laughed it off, her eyes lingering on mine a little too long. It doesn't explain why my boyfriend began pulling away, as if someone whispered poison into his ear. The real fracture came the night I returned home early and heard her in my room, the soft shuffle of drawers, the rustle of fabric, a quiet sigh that didn't belong to me. When I opened the door, she stood in front of my mirror wearing my black lingerie, fingertips tracing her collarbone like she was rehearsing someone else's fantasy. Her eyes met mine in the reflection. No panic, no guilt, just a slow smile. "I didn't hear you come in," she said, casual, almost amused. Something inside me froze into place then, a suspicion that she wasn't just borrowing my clothes, she was borrowing my life, and the 2:14 a.m. message confirmed it. I didn't confront her, not yet. People like her feed on reaction, on chaos, on the shock they deliver like a gift. I gave her nothing. Instead, I started collecting pieces, quietly, carefully, with the precision of someone who knows the truth is already there if you're willing to look straight at it. I checked my phone records. There were outgoing messages I didn't send, deleted threads I didn't erase, texts forwarded to her number behind my back. I studied my boyfriend's tone during our calls, guarded, uncertain, like he wasn't speaking to me but to the version of me she'd constructed for him. I searched the cloud backups she didn't realize synced to my laptop, photos of me asleep, screenshots of my conversations, draft messages she crafted in my voice, and worst of all, pictures of her in my clothes, posing in my room, wearing my smile like a costume she was stitching to her skin. The deeper I went, the calmer I became. The storm didn't rise, it settled. Because now I understood. She wasn't trying to steal my boyfriend. She was trying to become me. The final proof arrived in the form of a single audio file, recorded without my knowledge. Her voice, soft, strategic, telling him I'd cheated, that I was using him, that I laughed about him behind closed doors. Every lie delivered with gentle conviction, every manipulation woven carefully into the spaces where trust once lived. I listened twice, then a third time, not to feel anything. Feeling had become irrelevant, but to memorize the exact moment her voice broke, not with guilt, but anticipation. Once I had everything, I printed it, all of it, a thick stack of truth laid bare in black and white. I waited until she came home. She entered the living room humming, oblivious. I handed her the stack without a word. Her face drained instantly. You weren't supposed to." I raised a hand. Silence. The kind that ends people. I didn't yell, didn't accuse, didn't offer her the drama she'd rehearsed in her mind. I simply stepped aside, letting her read every message, every photo, every piece of her own obsession reflected back at her. Her hands shook, her breath broke,
Her eyes darted between the pages like she was watching her own identity unravel. And then I told her, calmly, that the lease was already transferred out of her name, that the landlord had the evidence, that she had 20 minutes to pack what was hers, which, ironically, wasn't much at all. She tried to speak, tried to cry, tried to twist the story one last time.
I didn't respond. I didn't need to. Some truths destroy more efficiently than anger ever could. When the door finally closed behind her, the apartment fell silent. Not peaceful, not comforting, just honest. I walked into my room, looked at the mirror she once posed in, and felt nothing. No rage, no sadness, just the quiet recognition that some betrayals don't wound, they clarify. People show you who they are. Sometimes all you have to do is watch. I folded the lingerie she stole, placed it back in the drawer, closed it gently. And as the room settled, as the night fell still around me, a single thought surfaced. Cold, steady, final. She didn't take anything from me. She only revealed what was already hers to lose.